Happy day after Thanksgiving.
Happy day after Thanksgiving, everyone. I hope all of y'all had a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day, a good day with your children. I know we did. One of my grandsons, well, the one that came, had to work yesterday. He's a nurse, an RN, and he had to work yesterday. And so we had ours last night, which was wonderful. We had great grands here, one of our sons, one of our daughters. Wasn't a big crowd. One of our granddaughters and her son. Wasn't a big crowd, but you know what? You don't have to. As long as you got family around you, that's what matters. So we had some in Maine, some in Texas, but they had a wonderful Thanksgiving too with their families. So, all right, today we're going to do something quick. I hope it's quick. I made some spiced apples the other day, and I said, you know what? These would be really good just as a quick little condiment that you could have on your table anytime. But these are wonderful for Christmas, and I'm experimenting a little bit this morning, but I've got 3 apples here. I've got these are cinnamon. I've got some red hot cinnamon candies. Now they are predominantly no sugar, but my red hot candies do have some sugar, but I'm only putting, this is like a 0.9 ounce. So that's very little of the cinnamon candies. I've got 1 cinnamon stick. Now in my boiler here, I wrote it down, 1 cup of water, 1/2 cup of vinegar, white vinegar, 1/4 cup of stevia, 1/4 cup of allulose. You could put that's a 1/2 cup of sweetener. You could put a 1/2 cup of sugar in this if that's what you wanted to do. I'm gonna put 1 cinnamon stick, and I have got like a 1/2 teaspoon of whole cloves. I'm putting that in. I'm gonna go ahead and put my red hot candies because I want them to be melting. If I can get this package open, okay. Because I want to melt them. Now, I like to, in mine, I made some just before Thanksgiving and everybody loved them. But you see the red color? The red hots turn it a little red, but not real red. Now, I'm going to put a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla because it just
Begs for vanilla.
It just ups the flavor. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, what I'm about to do, I'm just going to put this on simmer, on low, and I'm going to let these red hots melt. I'm going to stir them till they get melted because I don't want them to stick to the bottom. And it doesn't take them long. Now, this is not something you put on your shelf. This is something you make, you put in your refrigerator, and they'll last a month or more. All right, now, I am going to add some red food coloring because I want mine real red. These are going to be for Christmas. I'm going to make them now, put them in the refrigerator, and by Christmas, they will be so good. I'm going to add a little bit of red food coloring to mine. But now, if you don't, that was probably, I don't know, 1/4 of a teaspoon, maybe. If you don't want to do that, you can leave it with just the red hots, or you can use cherry juice. Now, I know maraschino cherries have sugar in them, but that's your option. If you don't want to use the red food coloring, then you can use the cherry juice. But you know what? Cherry juice has the same thing that the red food coloring does. I've already checked the labels. All right, I'm just going to let this sit back here. My red hots have melted, and I'm just going to let that kind of simmer. And I've got 3 apples here, and I'm going to core them. Now, this is a Pampered Chef. I love this thing. It is so It's just wonderful. All right. Now these are gala. I think 2 of them are pink ladies. One is a gala. So, all right. I just pour them. Now this is some lemon water or vinegar water, because I'm going to put my slices down in it. Now the way I do it, I leave the peeling on it. Leave the peeling on it, so it'll keep its structure. Okay.
Well, this is certainly simple and quick, isn't it?
It is simple and quick, and I cut mine about
a 1/2 inch.
About a 1/2 inch. Yep, like this. Now you can cut it a little bit thinner if you want to, but that's just how I cut mine.
About as thick as the tip of your pinky.
Yeah. All right. And you can do, you can double this recipe. You can do as many as you want to. That's just up to you, and make them. And if you love them, then you make some more before Christmas. So
And
you can eat them and make some more before Christmas.
Well, I like what you told me before you started making them. You said apples are always available, so you don't have to can them. You don't have to pickle them. You just fix them as you need them.
Yeah, you've always got apples in the grocery store. And so this is quick, easy, wonderful, wonderful condiment.
Attractive on the table.
Beautiful.
She had them on the table yesterday, and they're just beautiful, and everybody enjoyed them.
Mm-hmm. Really pretty.
And they're very expensive in the store to buy
If you've ever bought a spiced apple in the grocery store, you don't get very many, and they're expensive. So, all right. Now, you do not have to cook these very long, because you want them to stay a little crunchy. You don't want them to get mushy. So I'm going to drop mine. And I may add a little bit more food coloring to them.
It's just the preference of the person doing it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I may not use all of these. I was just kind of experimenting when I made my syrup. Because you do want enough to cover when you put them in your container. I'm going to take that one out, because I don't like all that peeling on it, and I'm just going to cut some of this off like that. Okay, now then, and I may make some more syrup. I don't know, because I want enough to completely cover my apples. But I will have the recipe for these in the description box. They are going to shrink just a little bit as they're cooking. I'm going to turn my burner up a little bit more now, because I do want them to cook. These are so good, y'all. I'm going to show you some that I already have made in my refrigerator. And show you what they look like once they get done. I think I'm going to have to make some more syrup up. We'll see when they start cooking. Hold on.
When they cook down, they'll go back lower in the
They
water.
don't cook down a lot, but now this is the one that I made the other day and put in my fridge. And y'all look.
You're going to have to do your taste test right now with these that you already made.
Beautiful? I'm going to cut one in half. Oh, they're so good. And so pretty on the table.
Yep, they are.
They still got a little crunch to them. They are so good. Okay, y'all. These are going to cook about 5 minutes, or until they get, I stick a knife in them and they just get a little a little knife or fork tender. So we'll be back as soon as these cook, and I'm gonna taste my syrup and see if I've got it sweet enough, or if I need to. I tasted of it before I put my apples in, but I'm gonna taste of it again. Matter of fact, I'll do that right now and see. Oh my, that's perfect.
They look like they're ready, Grandmama.
They are. They cook 10 minutes, and I didn't have quite enough syrup in them, so I adjusted it a little bit. I put a little bit more water and a little bit more vinegar, but I did not add any more sweetener, but I'll have all of that in the recipe. So now these I've got in a little container like this. They've been in there a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And these will still be good Christmas because they've got vinegar in them, and that little bit of vinegar helps preserve them. So just keep them in the refrigerator. So you can put them in a container like this. I'm going to put these in this quart jar, and a wide mouth works really a lot better because you can't get your some of your apples in one of those regular mouth jars. And you can reuse this syrup right here. What I call syrup. So when you eat your apples out, you can just put your syrup in a saucepan, heat it up, slice a few apples in it, cook them till the apples get fork tender. Now, if you'll come over here, honey, let me get a little, hold on, let me get a little dish, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm going to put one of these in this. Well, I should have got a white one. I shouldn't have got a red one because this is red. It doesn't show up. All right. You see that? You see how that just gently goes in there? That is what you want.
Sort of like the top of a cake or a pie when you're checking it.
No, no.
It's not?
No. It's just knife tender. It just goes in, but if you cook it too long now, it's going to get mushy. So I'm just going to slide my apples in this jar. And this is the reason you want a wide mouth jar, if you have one, or a container like this. Anything that you can keep in your refrigerator. All right. Now here's one. And I don't know if it was the kind of, I think it was the kind of apple. 2 of my apples were pink ladies, and they're holding their shape really, really well. But one of them, and I'm still going to put it in my jar. And I'm putting my little cloves in there with it, my little whole cloves. Because the longer these sit, the redder they're going to get and the better they're going to get. Okay. Now you do as many apples as you want, but about 3 apples is all that and I'm going to put my cinnamon stick in there with it.
I'll eat that last one.
I don't know why it...
Must have been on the bottom of the pan.
I don't know, but it got mushy. I'm just going to put it in here. Roy will eat that. All right, then pour your seasonings, your whole cloves, everything in your jar. Put your lid up. Well, I'm going to let it cool. I'm going to let it cool before I put it in the refrigerator. But you do want it to cover your apples. So make sure, press your apples down a little bit and make sure that your syrup is covering your apples. So y'all, in less than 30 minutes, look, isn't that beautiful?
It's beautiful.
In less than 30 minutes, you can have these cinnamon spiced apples in your refrigerator. They're great for a snack. They're beautiful, beautiful on your table. So make you some of these. Have them in your refrigerator, but make them about a week ahead of time, because at least a week, because the longer they sit there, the more they're going to absorb that cinnamon and the little cloves flavor. So, and the sweeter they'll get. So, all right. Food feeds the family, family feeds the heart, God feeds the soul. Make you some cinnamon spice apples. Now these are without sugar except for the little cinnamon candies, and that was very little. Or you can use sugar. You can make them sweet with sugar. So we'll see y'all next time.